Israel is back-to-back launching strikes on Hezbollah in Lebanon. So this is another war front that is opened in the Middle East region. There's a big breaking news where Hezbollah has in fact said that we have launched drones towards Israel. Violent strikes are taking place now on Israel. Strikes are extremely powerful is what we are getting to know in the latest. This is another war front that is opened amid the conflict that has already been going on after the joint strikes that took place earlier between US, Israel and Iran. So this is tension brewing in this region as well, wherein Israel is, of course, all right. All right, I have with me Major General Rajan Kochar and also Colonel Rajiv Bagga, defense expert, with me. First of all, I would like to come to Major General Rajan Kochar, to you. This is another war front that we are seeing opening where Israel is attacking targets, Hezbollah, and Iran is already definitely trying to engage in the asymmetric warfare with the help of proxies like Hezbollah and Houthis. How it's going to pan out in the future? This is a conflict that is just advancing day after day.
Good morning, Hina. Yes, you're absolutely right. This conflict is expanding as a matter of fact and escalating, I would say, by the day. And what we are seeing is that Donald Trump also in desperation, he's making statements like he's prepared to send the troops. I don't think that will happen, because if it happens, then it's going to be bad news for the US, because from past experiences we have seen whenever boots on grounds have been there, things haven't worked out for the US, and especially when you are entering into a hostile country, when the population is also hostile to you, you will find difficulty. And IRGC is expert in guerrilla warfare, so if you moving your troops there, you're going to face a lot of opposition, and they have not prepared for it, because you need to have a logistic base. You see, if you go back to Iraq, they built up the logistic base in Saudi Arabia. It took months to build up that, kind of thing. So without your logistics coming in, Ukraine war also, we saw in the initial part of war, there was a problem of logistics as far as the Russians were concerned, and they suffered heavy losses. So I don't think that's a plausible kind of a strategy. But what is happening is, I think the losses which US was not expecting have happened in these last 5 days of war. And that is a setback, especially F-15 fighter jets. 3 of them have been lost, but I am given to understand it is much more than 3. So this exact figure will only come later. And we are also seeing only 6 casualties which have been reported, but on ground, what the reports are emanating is far more than 6. And the way the US embassies are being targeted, the way the air base is, especially in Kuwait, we have seen the naval base also being targeted there, and Bahrain, where the Fifth Fleet is there. So I think there have been a very strong action by the Iranis. And my last point, you have to remember now how the IRGC is working. They have a mosaic defense strategy in IRGC where the control is totally decentralized. So what is happening now is, though cyber attacks are taking place in the US, and IRGC leadership is not able to communicate with the junior leadership, but they have practiced this kind of a scenario, and it is now a decentralized command and control. And that's why you are seeing, due to the decentralization command and control, a large number of attacks are taking place in the Gulf countries, and especially on the air bases of America. And the expansion of the conflict with Hezbollah. The reason here is that possibly Israel sees this as a large opportunity to further diminish the strength of Hezbollah, because after this war, I don't think there would be any opportunity which will present itself for Israel to carry out this kind of attacks on Hezbollah. And the last point is the impact, the economic impact. I believe the oil prices have in Europe have gone up by almost 44%, because they are anticipating a breakdown of supplies this side, and they have actually hiked their prices. So in times to come, the LNG and the CNG aspects also, which I think India will get affected, almost 60% of our requirement comes from Qatar. And I believe Qatar has closed that supply now. Now it is, this problem is going to magnify, because it's not only a military problem now, it is an economic problem which the world will be facing here now.
Major General